Alrighty then. Yeah, well, I mean, the experience probably would have told me, to be honest. White oak coffer. Tataru is itching to share what appears to be good news. Good news, Aldine. We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon. Apparently our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. The path I doubt we'd have found had the Ironworks and the Suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eagle eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. Better go and give him a hand. My thoughts exactly. The sooner you find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to whatever it is, or wherever it is this mysterious voice is coming from. Well, I mean... Well, no, he said the gates to the first would open. I guess wherever he actually is still unclear. The sooner we can work out how to help our friends... Oh, and the sooner we can help friends. Good. We have to find a way to wake them up, and before the Empire comes calling again. Meaning we have no time to lose. There's a boat in North Silvertier waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. Is that a guitar in that God damn. Starting off strong with the music, I guess. Heading to the survey site, sir? It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. Yep, let's go. Oh. Loading?
Look how many people there are! Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
What?
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
Biggs! Wedge!
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Of course she did.
Twice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
It's gonna be Nero's thing, isn't it?
Sorry,
Oh, no.
I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in.
That's an Ironworks gear, isn't it?
What's that you got there? Now that looks promising.
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Oh my god, Tataru, you're so fucking smart.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Why is there wind in space?
The dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
How dare you?
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you.
Oh.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Let eons become instant. Is that Minfilia?
Your time has not yet come.
That looks suspiciously like the Warrior of Darkness. I can't tell if it's the effect, but its hair is a little different.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
I'm pretty sure this is the Warrior of Darkness talking. I can't remember his name. Wait a fuck.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
Have I heard his voice since the new voices were introduced? Fuck, I don't know. Oh. Oh no. Wait, I must be in the first then.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time.
This looks like what's his name from the beginning of the game, and then in
And when, pray tell,
the end of ARR.
did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk yet, he'd reply. Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when. You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
I don't know, I'd be looking for a shot about now in that situation.
I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you best hurry along to the town nearby.
Where?
Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire, its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy.
Oh.
It will all begin anew, between dark and light, the pure and the corrupt, the one true struggle.
Unable to summon a mount, really? Alright. Travel the road then. Oh wait, no, it's wanting me to go down here. Take a look at that. Oh, I can't see right up. God damn it. But I wonder if the Crystal Tower, like, permeates realities or something. Like, we don't really know how much of a reflection, each of the realms are.
Halt!
Oh.
Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not. This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions. From where do you hail?
Ooh! That's a good question. No one's gonna bloody know what the source is. Limsa Lominsa may not even exist here. Actually, yeah, the source is probably the best thing to say here, because I don't even know if Limsa Lominsa is a nation here. It's probably all gibberish, but this is the closest. This is the thing that is more likely, I would hope, to be correct. Maybe.
The source? What is this cryptic nonsense? Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
So.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand, ring and all.
Well, fuck. Oh.
Everything all right, Captain?
It's you.
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private. Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons. I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you were still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
So, they're here? This character is too straight-laced to go for that line, but it would be appropriate.
That is a question with no simple answer, but all shall be explained in due course, I promise you.
Oh no.
Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost. and the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the First from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try. For in saving the First, you would bring salvation to the source as well.
The voice acting just got really quiet for some reason.
But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
God, if Newest Girl was here, I'd actually ask if this is a good time to watch the trailer, but... One of the last trailers had, like, pretty big spoilers depending on where you actually, like, looked in it. I'm guessing once you cross the expansion, it's kind of fine. Cross into the expansion, it's kind of fine, but... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to risk it, to be honest. I'm really surprised we didn't go back and pick up that ring, but...
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
Yo! Here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium. Didn't get as much of a cool guitar solo then, but... Oh, I didn't use this. Duh. Oh, I probably don't have room for... shit. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, come on, why can't I see them all at once? God damn it. Oh, whatever. Okay, hold on. Shit. Okay, after this stream, I am going to clean out this fucking inventory. It's been a bit much. I am not playing Red Mage on this character, so that can go fuck itself. I'll sort this out on the thing. I suspect I'll be tossed armor and that, but I mean, I've got a decent set right now, so it should be fine. White oak weapon coffer. God damn it, Titan. It's fine. Oh, it's gonna give me... Now, full and frank conversation in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. But I think our conversation would be more meaningful were you first to gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit a few of the Crystarium civic leaders and glean something of this world and its predicament. as you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aetherite, a convenience with which I am sure you are only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your aetheric trail and find a connection to the source, believe it or not. Okay, hold on. So this is an important point. Like, first off, that's bonkers. The fact that I could just whisk my way back. But, oh, actually, I have to change, the FF14 description. Because we're in Shadowbringers now. But this is also an important point, because when Kryl was looking for Y'shtola, Oriange, and Thancred, she noted that the aetheric trails were cut. Now, it seems like either we have not had the same means of travel as them to the first, if they're even here. I guess we're going to find that out soon. Okay, so one of two things is happening here. Either the way we've gotten to the first and left the source was a different way to the others, and we are the only ones capable of actually getting back via this means. Or leaving the source seems to cut the trail, and it's not actually cut. It's kind of unclear which one that is, but I think the discussion regarding the Scions might shine some light on that. Being the rightful object, yeah. I strongly suggest you complete this achievement before venturing any further. After you've done so, walk up the steps next to the Aetherite and head out to the left to arrive in the crystalline mean. Oh, excuse me. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as their spokesperson, Catless, one of the people I should like you to meet. Another is Morin. To reach him and his Cabinet of Curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps, take the exit on the left, and simply continue straight along and down until you come to the large doors at the end of the path. There. The third and final person I would like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aetherite Plaza. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. Is that rude? Very good. I can see the layout of the Crystarium owes more to historic necessity than planning, but I'm sure you'll learn its twists and turns before long. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. So what the fuck should I say then? That being the case, when they ask where you went, ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. When you've finished making the rounds, pray meet in the large courtyard at the center of town. Until then. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to quickly, Hi. I'm going to take this opportunity to take a quick break, because... Oh! My sprout is gone! I'd have to look back in the VOD and see if that was literally just entering Shadowbringers that did that, but, yeah. Yeah, I need to get a drink, and I also need to go to the bathroom, so... I don't speak any Japanese. Yeah, so I will be right back. While I quickly change the message there. Alright. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Cool. So, I'm really curious as to what the... Yeah, okay, just 999 for everything. Oh, it's actually forcing me to attune. By focusing your senses, you detect the flow of vastly distant currents of aether. Your connection to these energies is faint, but stable, and should allow teleportation to aetherites in the source. Oh, shit, no. Yep, and we have our first, port here. Neat. Alright, well, I'm just gonna follow the order the Exarch talked about. It's two familiar looking doors. I should really talk to my, the fuck are they called? Summoning bell? Retainer. That's it. I was gonna walk towards it until I fucking remembered, but... They've got Allagan shit working. Rare to see a place so fully stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. Going to guess you're new to our fair city? Well, for what it's worth, you chose a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Apparently. Safer and more civilized, too, thanks to us in the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources and craft the goods which make city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking I'll be handed... it'll all be handed to you on a plate like those... Eel... I don't know how to pronounce that first bit. Eolmoran layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labour, you don't have that whiff of indolence about you that, like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him, and any friend of his is a friend of ours. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. What the fuck? Is he like Allagan or something? Ooh, hang on. He had the... Oh, I don't know if those are specific to Allagans, because we've never seen any of them alive other than, like, I guess, the king. But he did have, like, veins down his crystal arm that bore a similar color? Fuck, I wonder if he is Allagan. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. Wow, the flood is a very good word for that. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started growing up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries. But for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. If you're ought to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Catelys, and I'll find you a niche here in the Crystalline Mean. You can help us keep the cogs of the city greased and turning. Exchange with Catelys has taught you about life in the Crystarium. Can I mount here? No, of course I can't. I think I... Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this place is probably going to take some getting used to. Oh, I should be on the lookout for those. What? Oh, it must be down here. And I would assume this is, yeah, just left of here. Oh well, that was a good jump down the balcony then. The Trivium. Jeez. Oh, I'm gonna grab that first. Oh, I'll have to pass here anyway. Cabinet of Curiosity. There's that motif again. I don't think I've heard that woven into a town song before. At least not that I can remember. I know it's on all like the title screens and stuff like that, but excuse me, sir. You recently come to the city, perchance? Quite familiar with our civic roles, you see, and well, what I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll, even a scrap of scribbled on parchment. I mean, I have summoning tomes. I don't know if they're the same thing. My apologies. Literature is something of an obsession. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. A librarian Morin at your service, and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manner of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written word. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Oh no, I'm just kind of looking around. Oh, so you have an interest in modern history. Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can yield novel perspectives, I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Just a moment, I'll fetch it for you. It's a little condescending, but like at the same time, yeah, no, that probably would work better. And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable? On with the lesson, then. I'll stand, I guess. A 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warrior of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pulled and swelled without cease until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet just when it seemed that all would be lost, a saviour appeared before us. The Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvrand, and Norvrand alone spared the fate of Erasure. Holy shit. That might have actually been the bit where Oriange sent the word of the Mother and the Warriors of Darkness back home. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These Sin-Eaters were light incarnate, and their flugent presence stole the night from northern skies. Norvrand? Norvrand. Not Norvend. Norvrand. Is there a... Oh no, good. Even now they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or if you would rather I speak of other matters, that would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company. Your exchange with Morinus told you about the Flood of Light. Cool. Let's go back to the plaza. Musica Universalis. Tim Hortons. Oh no, they've got a sprout next to their name. Maybe it's time played? I don't know. Interesting. New to the city, friend? Spinning head and wide eyes give you away. Welcome, my name is Bragi, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for elves such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, did you say elves? Aye? Something wrong? Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a Hume. And the taller one is an elf, like you. A sturdy individual over there is a Galgent, whilst the one with the horns is a Dran. And then you have the large scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. They would be the Zun. Yeah, everything's named different, of course it is. Which is apparently not the name you know them by. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hailed from. Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry, should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. People are the first. Nice. Okay, north there, or this way there is no stairs up, so I guess we're just heading straight for the tower. This is a really nicely designed city, I'm not gonna lie. Or, it's interesting to look at the very least. Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? Count of... yep. Wait a minute, did I say Warriors of Darkness when he actually said Warriors of Light? Oh no, yeah. It did say Warriors of Light. I can't remember if I actually said Warriors of Light or Warriors of Darkness, because I assumed that's who they were referring to, so... Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but it was necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that details were sparse. That structure is, in fact, the self-same one you know from the source, transported to the First in its entirety. Okay! It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing, and although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. Okay then. Travelers of Norvrant. The Crystal Exarch is finally ready to discuss the matter of your comrades' whereabouts. You've done as I requested, and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain, and explained what has befallen your comrades. That is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. Tower's gate lies open, then? Well, yes, of course. It can be opened and closed just like any other. Does that seem strange to you? I know not how the tower functioned in your time, but I assure you there is no danger of us being locked inside. Huh. I wonder when he pulled it from, then. Or when they pulled it from. I don't think... yeah. Because it could be, like, in the past, when the Allagans were still using it. It could have been in... It could be in the future as well. Greetings, sir. The Exarch waits within. We also don't know what would happen if it was pulled from anywhere. Like, does it cease to exist in the source at that point? Because that would mean it would be in the future, but... I've heard this music before. Shit, I didn't get to count it again.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind.
Oh no, he's got like...
I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow scions.
That looks like veins. That's just kind of rope. Or like actual clothing.
To put it simply, they are here in the First.
Cool.
Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the First, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted.
Okay.
That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence. And thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelt here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the first for almost a year.
He's really quiet all of a sudden.
My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
I'm gonna ask this. This is definitely where you get to kind of put the character in your character, but...
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least.
Okay, so we are looking for a way to return them. Fine. Yeah, this like... The warrior I play would definitely be like, well, fucking undo it. But, yeah.
As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass.
Which I'm assuming is what we saw before we woke up here.
In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain. For it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity.
Nice.
Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips.
That would be great.
I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least? Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I have been informed that a room has just become available at the Pendants, which, as it turns out, is perfect. Our path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along. Why would I need that? Oh, I guess they may have, like, new mechanics and stuff like that for this, this particular part of the game. Oh, and I'll nab this on the way. Wait, did I really not get the... Oh, no, because he was all the way over there. It's on the other side of the circle, other side of the square there.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. What you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough. Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's
Oh,
value
shit.
was decided by the worth of its
Hello, relatively... That's really fucking embarrassing. Relatively prime. There we go, I can pronounce words. Thanks for the raid, I really appreciate that. I just got into Shadowbringers. So I'm being led around the hand of this, being led around the hand shown to the city at the moment. Yeah. Thank you for that raid. I really appreciate that.
As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil. A word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here.
That's convenient. Also, is this your very first playthrough of it? Yeah, this is my first time going through Final Fantasy XIV, period. I hadn't touched the game before I started playing it in... Was it August or September? Something like that. So, yeah, it's my first time seeing literally everything.
And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice. From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter.
This expansion is very good. I finished my MSQ playthrough blind a week ago or so. It got me to cry 10 out of 10. When I just, yeah, that I've heard nothing but pretty much that from everyone I know who plays it. From even just being on the periphery of some people who play it, and communities that play it. So, like, I'm excited to see where this went, because, like, ARR was... I mean, I didn't stream all of ARR. It was, like, the back maybe few hours, I think. But I streamed all of Heavensward and Stormblood, and I really enjoyed both of them. So if this is the one that, like, everyone universally enjoys even more, then I'm curious to see where this goes. Unfortunately, I feel like you probably stumbled upon, like, the most boring part of this expansion so far. Shadowbringers could literally be its standalone FF game. It's that good. Well, one of the things that I really noticed about this is that the circumstances of this expansion period are, like, make it feel like that a lot. We've been basically plucked out from our world, second one, placed somewhere else, and, like, this introduction is something that happened at the very beginning of the game as well. Like, it very much feels like, it could even stand alone as its own game. Like, even if it is just good, it's really interesting that they've created an expansion that's actually like, or at least starts off very isolated from the others. And then I guess it kind of needs the explanation to get you up to speed, so...
Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower.
I hope it doesn't take too long to get going, but I mean... Oh, now that I think about it, Shadowbringers intro reminds me of FF10's. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Some of which may be familiar to you.
Oh no, not tombstones! Oh my god, they look like literal iPhones. I never noticed that. But like they're literal tablets, so like
For us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your home world. Avan Kerm Sin?
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task.
yeah, you can actually get an emote where you swipe at a tombstone if you have the 14 companion. Oh, that's interesting. Getting the companion app and registering it to... Oh yeah, same thing. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I never put that together. Like, very early on it was explained that, like, a lot of the things that were recovered, particularly the tombstones, were, like, literal tablets. I don't know why I never put that together. Or that, like, it would have something as convenient as something we have in our own world, because of course it fucking would. Hello, fairy. What?
This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm. And we have
Hi.
need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift?
Yeah.
Wonderfully exciting. What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do.
Hey Charles, how's it going?
After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin.
I'm sorry, Pact.
But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
I haven't thought to check. But... yeah?
Just as I thought. Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass.
Did someone seriously get sent here and missing their fucking nails? Ugh. Don't know why I just made myself think of that, but...
From
good
this
lord.
moment forth, I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Sne Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Raise your hand.
If D&D has taught me anything, this is a fucking horrendous idea, but this isn't D&D, so... fuck it. I'll make a pact with a fairy. A pixie, sorry.
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
She
May
is
have a
intense.
message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Consider it done.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by Pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium.
Hey, the Fae are less likely to screw you over than a fiend or a Lovecraftian monstrosity, but then again, that last one probably gave you powers for laughs and left after you messed up something. Well, yeah, Lovecraftian monstrosity is a coin flip. Either you become, like, a mindless whatever, or they're an abstract trickster god that was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll give you godlike powers, let's see what happens. But no, Fae are still tricksters, like, in the grand scheme of, well, at least in my experience, it does depend on who's writing them, but, like, fiends and Lovecraftian monstrosities will fuck you up. Fae will just mess with you eternally. Not like ruin your life, but just make things, like, really inconvenient and embarrassing. Again, depends on who's writing them, of course.
Right, we were going to organise a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Okay, hang on. I need to get this right the first time. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Ryuzaki Law 1. Got it. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. As a result of your pact with Theo Ul, you now have access to delivery moogles, market boards, and summoning bells while in the first. Oh, wait. If I walked over to one of those before, was it just going to, like, knock me back and be like, what are you doing? And thank you, Relatively Prime, for the follow. I really appreciate that. And once again, I have to thank you for the raid. Also, Charles, why is this the one expansion you know? I went into this blind to make sure I didn't get spoiled on anything, but, like, you haven't even... TLDR, hand-waving the restrictions you should face on the first. Yeah, basically, yeah. I get, like, I wasn't sure if this was just going to be, like, a narrative convenience, or if it was going to be a mechanical convenience, but, yeah. It's all good. That's weird. Why didn't that update? But Dark Educator, thank you for the follow as well. I really appreciate it. I watched a shithead play through it. Oh. I'm so sorry. Why is latest follower not updating? That's weird. Oh no, there it goes. Huh. He's a lovable shithead, though. You literally had a CS with the Exarch a few minutes ago where he told you other friends don't have their physical bodies. Well, I mean, yeah. That was certainly a thing. I broke it for a moment, I feel proud of myself. Yeah, good on you. Please don't do that again. I prefer if people actually getting acknowledged. Granted, like, the notification was fine. I assume the whatever Streamlabs was doing, it didn't poll quick enough to see that. Poor Thancreds can't stop teleporting around naked. I didn't say anything about that at the time, but I was gonna say, like, oh god, poor fucking Thancred in the bluff again after being pulled soul, having his soul, like, fucking sent across realms. Jesus. That man is gonna be so scared to be naked ever. Or perpetual nightmares, at least. There you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here at the Pendants for the duration of your stay, to make use of as you see fit. When you're ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray rest and recuperate, and we shall reconvene in the Ocular anon. I believe that covers all the practical concerns. Thank you for answering my call, Aldane. We are denied the comforting blanket of night, but my peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. But may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. Oh, we're going to be forced to do this. Okay. Pleasure to meet you, sir, and welcome to your new home at the Pendants. Your room is ready if you care to retire. Well, I mean, I guess I have to. I mean, he's still deadly when naked. He managed to kill animals Vath naked. Yeah. He is nonetheless... He's fine, but... I mean, that doesn't mean he's not naked. And also, like, there's extra dangers fighting people when you've got no armor or clothes to speak of. Oh, of course, he's wandering around like a shade, isn't he?
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source.
Right, because they die. Oh, God. Oh, these poor bastards. So yeah, I went through this backwards, so seeing people during my start through FF14 was weird. Oh, I could imagine. Especially the way this story has gone.
Did you just... You can hear me?
Oh.
Oh, gods, how long has it been?
Oh my God! No one who doesn't have the echo can see them. They're like, because the Ascians couldn't, or Elidibus at least at some point couldn't be seen in the solar by Tataru. I don't remember. Elidibus seemed to really imply that the knowledge of the Ascians was kind of required to see them, but it's unclear if, like, that also involves... Well, no, because Moonbreeder did, and she doesn't have the Echo. I guess they have to be aware that this is a thing, maybe. Because for the Ascians, it would be knowledge of the Ascians. I guess for us, it would be knowledge of the Warriors of Darkness? It might be also that the mechanic is even a thing. It's a bit unclear, but either way.
That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source. A daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia. How she listened to our pleas, and returned our souls to the First. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrant. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away. Leaving me to bear witness.
Oh, that's... Meanwhile, if you're from a different world, why are you using an alias at all? What, someone gonna recognize you? No, but having, like, a moniker, I guess, is kind of the idea. A title. And because of their purpose, I guess they aligned it with that. Also, like, I don't know, there's, like, really weird stuff going on with, like, knowledge of other realms and stuff like that. And also, I guess, knowledge of Ascians being a thing and not seeing things, so, like, who knows? Yeah, like, because in theory, like, if something is a reflection of the source in some way, like an actual reflection and not like a shard, then what would going around and shouting everyone's names from somewhere else do? They don't bloody know. They barely knew this was even a thing, so, I don't know. I think it's more like they can always be seen by people with the Echo, but normal people can only see them if they allow it, kind of thing. Potentially, yeah. I guess that would explain it, because, like, Moonbreeder, well, like, most of the Scions, I believe, have seen an Ascian. But then again, I guess like in some circumstances they would have shown themselves. Because Elidibus was seen leaving. Oh, no, we could theorize about this for for ages, but I'm in a cutscene, so I might as well let it go.
Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
100 years, right?
100 years. 100 long years.
Has he been he's been here this whole fucking time? Holy fuck.
My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear.
I don't know why the voice acting suddenly got so quiet. I feel like it was louder before we got to... Like, in mid-conversation, the Crystal Exarch suddenly got really quiet. And it's bothering me, because I've been, like... For the past few streams, I've been, like, working with a new webcam, and then Windows decided to reset all my sound settings, so I've been trying to rebalance everything to keep, like, the voice acting of, like, similar, but maybe a little bit lower than myself. And I feel like it's gone down again, and I'm probably going to look back on this stream and go, well, fuck, I need to readjust all the audio again. But such is streaming, I guess.
I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
I wonder if he knows the Crystal Exarch.
You were summoned to save the first.
Ooh, that's gotta sting. Ugh.
It's a waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Oh, geez, where are we? Oh, they're right there. Okay, cool. Alright, time to go to the Ocular then. I really should have looked at where that Aether point was. Oh, sorry, Aethernet shard. Oh, I was right. Cool. I'm gonna give this other cutscene a go, because, like, there's something I'm trying to, like, formulate in my head, but I don't know if I can express it clearly right now. Oh, and there's just a portal to the source right there. Shit, I forgot to count the... I mean, the number of things on there is going to be 13. I don't need to count specifically, but...
How did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to bring this up, actually.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
Okay, that's not the reaction I was expecting. Fuck, I wish I could remember off the top of my head. Someone did give me a rough timeline of when the Crystal Exarch appeared. It might have been after the Flood, come to think of it. So he might not actually know what the Warriors of Light from the first actually did. Or that they were responsible for the Flood being halted. That they may still live.
Let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts.
Yes.
This map shows the lands of Norvrand, the only area to be spared the Flood of Light. The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger. To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest. Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness.
Oh. Oh boy. Here comes the P word.
For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armoreng. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the Flood of Light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe.
So what about Thancred?
So, will it be Calicia or Armoreng? It matters not which you choose to visit first.
What about Thancred?
Simply inform me once you've made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Yeah, that's Thancred in a nutshell. That makes sense. Oh, I actually get a choice here. I suppose there's probably going to be a few people in chat who know a little bit about what's going to happen. Wow, words. Happening, like, as a result, or what changes as a result of picking this. I assume you probably have to go down both at some point. And they're probably, like, little loops of stories, like, kind of exploring stuff that's happening around in the area they're in. Like, how long does it take for it to, like, loop around back to picking another path, or is this actually going to send me off on a different thing? You can just grab both? Oh. Oh, okay, so, right. This is like one of those situations where there are just two quest lines to do, and they give you both of them at once. Because if that's the case, then... actually, you know what? I'm going to take up Alizé first. I want to see what she's up to. Ready to depart for, Orang? Alizé would be overjoyed to see you safe. I know she was particularly concerned for your well-being, which is why I'm visiting her first. She, impressed upon me how regrettable the timing of her summoning was. Repeatedly. Yeah, well, if it was anything like mine... Facing fucking Xenos. Yep. Cool. Oh, granted, he didn't summon me through that, but he bloody well tried. I only hope that my part in sending you to her will garner me some measure of forgiveness. Here, this is a letter of introduction addressed to a man named Kassad, the master of a merchant caravan. There are a few who know the ways of the desert as well as he does. Find him at the Amaro launch, and he will see that you reach your destination. Fuck it, I'll just pick up both of them, and I'll do Alizé first. You visit Alphino in, Calusia, then? Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here is a letter of introduction, presented to, Zem Genmai, the master of beasts at, Temenos Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Sad Alphino noises. Listen. I'm confident Alphino... I'm confident Alphino could probably... Or, Alphino would probably more understand if I, visited him later. Alizé, however, I feel would be like... We were literally on the battlefield together. Why didn't you fucking visit me first? I actually don't know where I'm going. North. Oh, yeah, just here. Cool. I can tell you how many quests are in each path with spoilers. Nah, that's fine. Basically what I was asking is, is this gonna send me off and prevent me, or... No, I guess I wasn't, but, I was wondering, how divergent those paths were gonna be, if at all. Why the fuck am I... I was trying to get this Aethernet shard, but... Where the fuck is it? Is it up all the way upstairs? Ugh. Oh, well, I mean... That's where I needed to go, then. Handy. But yeah, I don't need anything like that. Yeah, I guess just because there's a fair few new people on the stream, I don't mind people commenting on, what's literally happening right now, or, making... Not smarmy, but, making comments about comments I make, but not really saying whether anything I speculate on is true or not, but I really would appreciate no one talking about, future events and stuff like that. I want to kind of see this as blindly as possible, so... I've managed to do so far, and it would be a shame to lose it right before, the best expansion. If you're looking for work, I might have a spot for another guard. I have a letter. Sealed envelope. Oh. Oh, a friend of the Exarch. Hoping to meet someone in Orang, are you? And I shall be your guide. I was about to set off for the outpost there, as a matter of fact, so we can leave right away, assuming you have everything you need. Just nod and smile along. Yep, exactly. All set? Then off to Unforgiving Sands we go. We can now travel to Orang. speak with the Adwa Amor Tamer to fly to the desert. You can also use your Aether Compass to assist with locating Aether Currents in new regions. Should you lose this compass, speak to someone in Crystarium. That's fine, I'm not going to lose it. Lost compasses can also be replaced by speaking with Gibralong at the Forgotten Knight and Foundation back in Ishgard. Nice.
Arang. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Arang once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Armarang meant majestic land in the language of his people. And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
Say the current time again. Oh boy! They were a goddamn pain in the ass in Stormblood. Like, someone who's a regular on my stream was telling me, like, oh yeah, the ones in Heavensward are easy, they're not out of the way, and I obviously saw that, and then I experienced the ones in Stormblood, and I was like, wow, you weren't kidding that they, like, changed things in that regard. Also, music, killing it. Since the beginning of this expansion. Oof, no matter how many times I come here, the heat never fails to catch me off guard. Don't be surprised when the temperature drops at night. Though the sky is still bright, of course, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Wait a minute. What? What? So there are still day and night cycles, but you only ever see light. Wow, that's interesting. So there's actually a distinction between the light of the sun and the light brought forth by the light. Huh. And that it wouldn't actually... Oh, that's really interesting. Like the one in the locks in Stormblood that requires you go across the map and back because you're blocked by a wall. Yep. I'm really glad I had a long dungeon queue or whatever the hell was happening at the time when that happened, because otherwise that stream would have been a... Like, it's weird, because ordinarily I would be really frustrated with something like that, but the fact that it was actually such a task gave me a lot to talk about while streaming, so... I managed to get a positive out of it, but it didn't much feel like one. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inn at Journey's Head, which is where this Alisei friend of yours is staying. But that's a fair old distance, so I propose we make a stop in Mordsock to break up the trek, allowing me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot, I'm off. I better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Everlasting light. Also, you don't remember when you got here. What brings you here at this time of night? Yeah, well... It wasn't that it wasn't that there were day and night cycle, or that there wasn't a conception of day and night cycles, but it was explicitly that no, the moon is still there. The day and night cycle has not been circumvented and we just put something in its place. No, it's still happening. More to the point that the weather effects are the same. That's like, outside of, like, there obviously still being a literal day and night cycle, the fact that, like, the light isn't preventing any of the weather changes that I would have thought is interesting. Right, we head southwest, straight as an arrow. I'm gonna sort my inventory again. I'm gonna clear that out after the stream, that's gonna bother me the next time I come here. Alright. Time to start hunting. 231 west. That's close enough. No, go away. Oh my god, this battle theme is great. Can't wait to hear that when I'm actually fighting. Just across the gap, or is it down? Oh, no, it's right there. Oh, I'm gonna get tagged, aren't I? Oh, actually, something I keep forgetting to do. Which reminds me... Did you level up recently? No. Unfortunately, I've been neglecting my Chocobo companion, so severely underleveled, unfortunately. I managed to, like, correct that with my other characters, but yeah, I made a mistake not having them out as long as I should have. Alright, what's up? Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Armorang, is it not? Before you cross the River of Sand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. What? Oh. I guess the palace, which is on a gigantic slant, which is... Jesus, how did the light cause this? Oh, I guess it's just, like, lack of maintenance and built on a desert. Kind of makes sense. They booked them big, didn't they? That's Casa Shal, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Nabatharang. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when they say that it was once one of Norvrant's mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along. Great chunks of Nabatharang's lands were lost to the light, its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. Not many choose to come here these days. Not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking great fortress has become little more than an Amara roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is deserted as this place. Just wait until you see Maud Sock. Soak? Let's press on, shall we? I mean, that looks like the place we're going already. Interesting that we kind of held on that for a second. Usually the way this game has done shots like that, it kind of like slowly goes up as it does so, and like then kind of fades as it's going up because you get enough of the landscape through that. But like they straight up just stopped looking at the horizon. Oh, excuse me. Here we are, Maud Sock. By the blessed shadow, I love this town. City of the Maud. Cassard stands at the entrance to Maud Sock, an eager smile on his face. Maud Sock, not just full of Maud, but Humes and all manner... Humes is so close to Humies that I almost reflexively say that in like a Warhammer orc voice. Like, not just full of Maud, but Humies and all manner of others too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Maud before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you could never wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gengen. I'll go ahead and let him know you've arrived. Oh. So this is a city of kobolds. Well, what would be kobolds in our world? That is a camel bird. That's great. I fucking love that. We have Amaro for hire if you're interested. Actually, yep. I'll talk to you now. if I was going to guess, like, one of the things that, oh, actually, I don't know when it would happen, but, like, one of the obvious things that's, like, being evoked here by putting, like, races we think to be beast tribes in the positions of actually being in, like, you know, society with everyone else, is the idea that maybe the beast tribes aren't actually, like, you know, wow, I was pausing for effect and then I forgot the bloody word I was going to say. Aren't as bestial as we would like to think, which should be fucking clear from a lot of the events of the game, but maybe this is the thing that actually tips it over. Or at least I would be very surprised if they didn't make that point eventually. Whether or not it comes up in, like, whether it comes up in, like, the MSQ during the main story or, like, in patches later on, I obviously don't know, but it would be another missed opportunity to not actually address this. But of course, like, one of the reasons that is actually the case is because these people are facing a far more horrifying future than we would be. That's a kobold! No, that's fucking rude. I actually like seeing their faces.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Because, interestingly, I feel like that's actually just a flat surface that's meant to be a shadow, because I feel like when we were talking to Gubu, like, you could actually see his face. Like, the face is striking, and I love it.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in mods.
Sook. Is this the first time we've heard of a kobold or a Maud voice acted? I think it is.
Sook is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk
Yeah.
is the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too, many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Maud Souk's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Maud dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mords do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money.
Actually, no, hang on. I think you could hear Kobold's voice acted when Garuda summoned Ifrit and Titan when you first defeat Garuda, just before Gaius comes along with Ultima to, capture them. I think you do actually hear kobolds in that cutscene. I could be wrong. Regardless, it is their voice acting is incredibly sparse, even if that is, like, the one other time it's happened.
And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Maud philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Maud says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Fobert. Oh, that was the one to the north, wasn't it? I think I recognized that, Oh no, was that to the south?
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Cassard, what are you doing?
Newcomer, crack your coin pass with me.
Okay.
Hello, you want my goods, newcomer? I have jars and pots so smooth and shiny.
Over here! Come and look!
You buy, you buy?
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better
But my
for the road
pots.
than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
Everything about this expansion so far has been incredibly endearing, and I love it. Or engaging. Endearing is this place in particular, but yeah, regardless. I haven't even, like, done much, and, like, I'm already, like, hooked. Welcome to Ronron's, traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes? Browse Ronron. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out, target a food stuff and inspect it with... Oh, okay. This is the sniping minigame. Meat. Bread. These look like, Papadums? I think that's what I'm thinking of. Worms. Ugh. Oh, browsewares. Oh, skewers. As well. Oh, you'll like those. Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks. Spear with stick, then roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. That's my ever-burning bounty, made with the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights. I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. That seems like the most sensible thing, to be honest. Everyone's favourite. Plump white worms slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat. Oh boy, that sounds appetizing. They all look tasty, yes? Which to choose? Which to choose? Yeah, mush loaf. Yeah. Sounds like it'd be good, considering I think it's daytime right now. So is 14 your first MMO? No. So I played World of Warcraft was my first and only MMO before this. I mean, I guess you could count RuneScape, but fucking, yeah. That was so long ago, and I haven't touched it since. No, WoW was the first one I played really seriously. I played Warlords of Draenor, Legion, and Battle for Azeroth. I did Mythic, Mythic raiding, server first, not like Realm first or anything like that. Well, we didn't manage to get server first, which kind of sucked, but we were always server second. So I did I did play MMOs for I did play that for 5 years? Yeah, it would have been about 2015 to 2019 or something like that. So maybe 4 or 5 years. So yeah, I have experience with the format and stuff like that. The reason I was pulled to 14 specifically is because people were talking up the story a lot, which from at least my experience playing WoW was it was a... Okay, so you have a wide range of experiences. Yeah, more or less. I mean, my experience is with WoW primarily, so in the latter part of its life, so it's Like, it probably encompasses a lot of the MMO experience, I would imagine, being, like, one of the only prominent ones left from that period, definitely. Yeah, and I have a experience with a lot of different content. Not going to lie, I do miss RuneScape. Yeah, I kind of do as well, in some way, but, like, I can never go back to the 2D sprite one, which kind of sucks, and I didn't really enjoy the look of the first 3D one. So, yeah. I never really went back to it. I'd have to start again, too, which I really don't feel like doing, because I feel like that game has aged terribly. And, like, that's its charm, but I just can't dedicate myself to something like that anymore. But yeah, coming into this, I did have, like, a fair bit of experience with, like, high-level raiding, and stuff like that. So I adapted the things in terms of, like, mechanics and stuff pretty well. The thing that, like, drew me to 14, like I said, is, like, a lot of people talking up the story, and with WoW, the story was a vehicle for the game, whereas this feels like the story is, like, a centerpiece, and that was intriguing to me, because I was wondering how the writing differs, right? This is primarily one of the reasons I actually visited this game, and I really like what they're doing. As you can see me playing, like, 150-something hours later, with two characters past Heavensward now. I played this game a lot since I started, so, yeah. Very wise. You won't wither on the sands with a gut full of cactus fruit filling. You have the gold? Sure do. You fall down the 14 rabbit hole. Yeah, I figured. Like, I'm definitely fine with sinking down this rabbit hole, because story-wise, like, I think there's new experiences to be had. Whether or not I would do a lot of raiding after I finish up with this is another question. And I want to try and make myself not go down that rabbit hole, because I played WoW at Mythic level rating for probably 3 of the 5 years I played, so 14's got a major leg over WoW for me because I'm the hero. I'm not here to beat up the Lich King only for Tyrion to come in and claim victory. Raided in WoW, enjoyed raiding in 14 a lot more. I haven't gotten to any of the... I haven't done any content that really requires me to be, like, really on the ball, executing everything well. Minus, like, the World of Darkness, but I feel like that's just because no one knows how to do that eyeball fight, like, at all. And it's fucking terrible. Terrible playing with people like that. Oh, people in that circumstance. But yeah, like, it is an interesting difference, and it's... Because in WoW, you're very much like the... Like, the difference here is that, like, the Warrior of Light is someone that's acknowledged to be very strong and, like, a person who, you know, comes in and saves the day, right? They are still an adventurer, and they're part of a team of people, particularly the Scions, who save the world in general, but are an integral part of that. Whereas in WoW, it very much felt like, it was a lot more positioned, at least in its early days, like, that you were just some adventurer, countries put out kind of a call and that. Nowadays, it's a bit closer to this, where the adventurer has kind of risen in popularity because, I mean, they were involved in every expansion so far, so they've come to be a little bit more renowned. But it hasn't really changed anything. At least in my opinion. Listen, I could talk for hours about this particular topic. You're a champion in 14, Warrior of Light has a better ring to it. Oh, you're a champion, but in 14, Warrior of Light has a better ring to it. Yeah, like that in and of itself is actually kind of the key difference, is that the world recognizes the Warrior of Light as the Warrior of Light, whereas, like, the adventurer in WoW, or the champion in WoW, feels a lot more like is explicitly part of just an amalgam of people and not widely recognized. this story definitely focuses the Warrior of Light as a character in the narrative more than it does the champion in WoW. I think that's like the key difference, and it has a lot of narrative implications, obviously, because the stories in 14 play out more or less like a Final Fantasy game, whereas WoW feels very indistinct and, like I said, more of a vehicle just to set up raids and stuff like that. And again, like, people would probably argue that, well, it's subjective which people like more. Like, a lot of people who play Classic now prefer the adventurous side to it, because they don't like being focused on that, either because they like it just because of the story style, feeling like you come up from nothing, whereas a lot of expansions later on have you more established. And some people like it because of it's how an MMO should tell a story, which is a weird thing for me. Like, WoW's side quests have good lore, but effort of reading it. But with FF14, the MSQ is amazing, and you have to do it. Well, like, yeah, like, that's another key difference, right? Is, like, you don't get scenes like this right here in WoW. It's all just, like, text in that block. And it's gotten a little bit better at delivering its story more front and center recently. But for the majority of its life, it's been in quest logs that people will breeze over and listen to the key conversations, but not everything going on needs to be paid attention to necessarily, or it doesn't feel like you should be. Whereas the presentation here, having cutscenes and all this stuff, really brings the story to the forefront, but also, like, pulls in players to be like, hey, you should probably, to make them feel like they should be paying attention. And that's where they get to do this stuff where, like, they get to establish things very early on that pay off later. It teaches players to be on the lookout for any time you, like, divert from the story to meet characters or meet places, because they're going to become important later. WoW doesn't have any, like, sort of similar story structure like that, and as such, it doesn't incentivize the player to engage with it, which means that you don't really engage with the story as much as you might need to actually get enjoyment out of it. Anyway, that's my, like, one rant about WoW per stream, so there's usually one of those every now and then. Yeah, like, one of the reasons I do stream this too is to kind of see my thought process. 100 explained better than most could. Because I guess this is kind of the thing. Like, I wanted to juxtapose these two, so I do think about this a lot. Maybe more than most, and maybe more than most people are interested. But yeah, I find it interesting how these two have approached their narratives, because, like, I'm interested really in, like, narrative design in games, which obviously means I need to pay attention to narratives, but how that gets integrated into the story, or into the game, sorry, is really important, and I think it's where 14 really excels, because it manages to present an MMO story in the way other video games present their own story, whereas WoW, it feels very detached. And I think 14 is the better for it, honestly. What the fuck? Ow, shit. It's like mushrooms and cactus fruit, dude. I didn't pick the worms. Wow. Okay. I'm kind of picky with food. And there are certain foods that I really actually detest. So it's probably a bit hypocritical coming from me, but the Warrior of Light is a wimp when it comes to food. Okay, granted, I haven't had cactus fruit before, so maybe there is something specifically about that that's not great, but Jesus. Consider your coin purse cracked. I am pleased to accept your custom, and Gen will be pleased that You honored ours. 100% can kill primals, can't eat worms. Yeah, right. Keeping the merchandise down, yes. No returns. Like... the thing is, too, that, like, it does present you with two things that seem, like, obviously, like, oh, that's foreign. Or alien, I should say. Foreign, unfortunately, has some, like, weird connotations. But, like, as, like, disgusting, you know, the worms. The frogs, they kind of, like, it goes from most disgusting to least would probably be, the way it's portrayed, it's probably going to be worms, frogs, I guess the cactus fruit pancakes, and then the meat. I'm really curious if I would have the same reaction to the meat, because that would be... Well, I guess it is lizard with, like, cured lizard meat, which... I don't know, I haven't eaten lizard, but... Damn. I'm still calling the Warrior of Light a bitch, but... Yeah. I was watching from here, Aldine. You honored our custom with great relish. You'll also be welcome in Mord Suk. If you need anything in Armorang, we are here to provide. Working off the meal. Xard is impressed by your gastronomic fortitude. Really? Because I wasn't. And the lizard has been in light constantly. I'm 100% sure that would affect the taste. Oh, that's a good point. Sun-bleached lizard. Never mind, that sounds fucking disgusting. You have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right, now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close, but before I conclude my business here in Mordsuk. Just lizard jerky, it's fine. Yeah, it probably would be, because it's just a lizard that's adapted to living in, like, constant sunlight, not a body that has been sitting in the sun for so long. Yeah, either way. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye, well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market. All probably paid for. You just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of some last-minute haggling, then. See you in a bit. You may view the market receipt at any time during... Oh, dear lord, it's making me actually... Table cactus, thonton... Or thonton. Iron ore, tholtol. The Batharang antiques. Mill. To be collected from Mulmul. Good. These aren't going to get confusing at all. I was just about to look at something. I do not see any Aether things, so that's good. Okay, maybe in a direction we're going, but... Hungry again already? You have a strong stomach, friend, but I wouldn't eat those. Wait, why can I... Hang on. Table cactus, iron ore. Oh, thonton, tholtol, mill. Okay. Stack of crated armaments. Why can I interact with these things? I'm confused. If you're handling Kessard's porter work, you've come to the wrong place. He has no outstanding orders with my shop. Oh, okay. Oh, it's actually throwing things that aren't the, He's throwing things that aren't they're throwing things that aren't the objectives at you. Is that the first time they've done that? I think it is. Kessard sends you, did he? Right. Yes. What kind of ore was it again? Iron ore. Iron ore, of course. That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours. Thank you. That's actually kind of goofy, like, seeing, like, having the context that the player does, seeing the Warrior of Light, like, fiddle around with everything in a fucking market, like, oh, is this the thing I was meant to pick up? What was the thing I was getting from... Table Cactus, right. Came in with Cassard, yes? Good, good. I can finally stop thinking about that sack. Please take your prickly purchase. Thank you. Also, something quick off the top of my head now that I thought about it. In MMOs and a lot of games that have, like, you know, secondary kind of, or expansions to it specifically, and, like, a kind of open world, there's always the question of, like, well, why are the monsters here, like, a lot stronger than what I've faced? Because just going to a random world, for example, if we went globetrotting, you wouldn't expect to necessarily end up in a place where all of the enemies are at your level of strength. But being in a world that has basically been, like, fucking annihilated by light, is actually incredibly good framing to just hand-wave that question, where it's like, well, everyone and everything living here at the moment is basically dealing with an apocalypse. And, like, the true, like, and manifestations of light, everything here is going to be tough as nails. Hands off the water is for Milmil's footpath, unless you have coin or barter. Oh, you work for Cassard. Milmil has antiques all boxed up and ready for transport. Right. They put that there just to confuse me. That's really good. Like, if it... Hang on, let me reread this again. Milmil to be collected from Milmil. Yeah, like, if you don't actually have to speak to Milmil to actually start this off, or, like, get the, things you need, then that's actually a really good way of, like, making the player pay attention to what the hell is going on. Oh, there you are. Didn't I... Man, I walked right past here and went up this way instead of looking this way. It could have been so much quicker. See, now I know I need to actually pay attention to what quest dialogue actually says, because maybe I need to differentiate between who I'm actually seeking, which is smart. Again, a way of making the player focus on what's actually happening. Hey, no touching. Merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my mind with a better offer. I'm literally here to pick this up. What? Cassard sent you? Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a high bidder. Oh, no, no, no. Nabatha Rang relics, wasn't it? All packed in that box there. Handle with care. Thanking you. Oh, I guess I can ride around on a mount. Alright, I got all your things. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. Why was I not supposed to complete it that quickly? Sorry, mate. I'm kind of in a hurry here. Aye, that's a lot, alright. Good work. And quick work, too, considering you've not set foot in this place before. I'd thought you want to sit in the city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you return, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassard? Feels like an age since I last saw you. Aye. Well, if it isn't the lovely Teslan. It has been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This gentleman was on his way to meet with Alizé. I'm supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alizé has told me so much about you. You're Aldine, aren't you? Wow, word travels quick. I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Teslin. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've gotten to know Alizé quite well since she took up guard duties. There. Do you want me to take over as Aldine's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it'd be no trouble. Oh, that would be a great help, thank you. Well, looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Armorang, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. Ow. Blind pimple on my... weird. Teslin is eager to set off. Alizé has been desperate to see you, Aldine, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. We just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. Right. Well, I've got an Aether point to find before we leave. Oh, that's out the other direction. Is there even a... Hang on. There's a little bit that's not... There's a little bit that's hidden in the back that's, not a wall from what I can tell on the map, but I don't think there is a back way out of here from the look of it. It looks like this is just a giant ridge. Unless the point is, like, in the 23 West. Oh, it's right there. I bet you I can't get up there. Nope. Well. Yeah, it looks like there's tunnels in there. God damn it. That's so frustrating. It's also kind of annoying too, because the compass will only point to the closest thing. Oh, actually, Gengen has a quest for me. I hated that current. Yeah, I can understand why. Gengen is fidgeting even more than usual. Greetings, friend. You like helping people, yes? Maybe you can help me too. You see, my son Gungun, or Gungun, makes me very proud, but very worried. He works very hard, too hard for his own good. He follows orders, yes, follows them until someone tells him to stop. This is very dangerous, bad for his health. I need you to speak to him and persuade him to rest. He should be near the Red Sarai, probably leaving no stone unturned in his search for relics. Please tell him his father orders him to stop. Where's that gonna take me? Back there? Okay. I mean, if I have to go back there to... It sounded like I would be, talking to... Cassard. Again, before I left, so... At the very worst, I can port back here and go over there. If I don't end up doing that, or if I don't need to come back there. All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. While most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance, the local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? Yep. I gotcha. I thought you might. Alizé was always saying how much you... I mean, let's get going, shall we? There we go. Something I can actually get. Should be just around here somewhere, I think. Oh, that wasn't much of anything. Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alizé was strong, but in her mind, she was never... Now it makes sense. Wait, hang on, I need to reread that again. And yet hardly a match for you. Or hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alizé was strong, but in her mind, she was never... Now it makes sense. Oh, she wasn't, like, boasting of her strength, I guess. Well, we should push on. Might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. Whoops. I wonder if that gave the chocobo... Nope. Still agonizingly close to the thing. Oh shit, I started that off wrong, didn't I? Oh, god damn it. Did that? Oh, okay, I was gonna say if that didn't go off, I'd be so mad. Oh, fuck it, that'll do. Oh, I guess not. And there's the Aether point. Current. What? Really? That's a bit of a tease. Oh, thank goodness you're back. You could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. I'm definitely a bit north, really. Oh, fuck it, I'm here, I might as well do that. I'm definitely a bit rusty with the Firebird trance rotation. Like, I've been sitting at level 72 for the majority of the post-patch stuff, but because there's like a real lack of like overworld non-instanced non-instanced fights in Stormblood, it feels like I've had very rare opportunities to actually use that rotation, and I've been stuck with like the Demi Bahamut only rotation for so long. Granted, like, it's not all that different, but in Firebird Trance, there's a rhythm to it that you need to keep up to keep proccing the special abilities in that. Oh yeah, I get you, Firebird's the best. Yeah, it seems really neat. Having you weave like a cleave spell like that into the rotation is neat too. At least from what I understand, like, when you're in Dreadworm Trance, yeah, I don't know. Shadowbringers, SB was kind of meh in regards to what you get to do and use. I suppose. Like, yeah, you got Demi Bahamut, as a summon, which, like, at least from a rotational standpoint, what I understood was, like, you pull up your Further Ruins to use in that, because it ensures that you get, like, the most... Okay. To get the most, like, casts out of him, and to ensure that you always have instants for, Arkmorn. But other than that, like, it's just kind of whatever. It doesn't affect, it doesn't, like, directly affect your rotation. It kind of forces you into doing something specific during your rotation, which is different. Whereas with, like, Firebird, it's like, no, you use the Ruin replacement, then the Outburst replacement back and forth. Which is actually, like, a change that, you know, can, like, actually feels like something that's more horizontal progression than vertical. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. Played Summoner a lot in Heavensward, but they ruined the class, pardon the pun. I mean, ruined the class. Yeah. I made a similar pun when it came to Titan, when I realized that you couldn't, you didn't get Ruin from its primary, or it's one of its edgy assaults. And I think I named the stream after that, more like Further Ruining Titan. But yeah, like, obviously I have very little context for that. I've only ever seen it in its Shadowbringers form, so, and I know from WoW experience how heated those kinds of discussions can get. So this is it. Thanks to you. Yeah, I already read that. Seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first, let's head inside, shall we? Well, isn't this a familiar scene? Welcome to the Inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alizé arrived. Yeah, it's not much, but it's home for the affected and a handful of carers. The afflicted. You don't know? I don't think I've ever met anyone besides Alizé who was so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folks have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alizé give you the full explanation. Alright. It's getting a little late, so I think we'll talk to Alizé and then call it a night. Hopefully it's not far away. Following in her footprints. Cast a gaze around the inn, hoping to spot Alizé. Now, where is she? Oh, she's not here. I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. 231 west. Okay. Generally seems like we're going to be looping around like that, so I would assume that I would head out west soon anyway. Oh, zombies. Great. No. Gilman. Oh, no, hang on a sec. Oh, my camera doesn't reach that far. I can't even decipher what those people are. Also, what? Oh, that must be like the Flood of Light. Holy shit. Oh, it's even uprooted this area. Fuck. Go away, you dingus. Live another day. Thank you. Jeez, that's imposing. Like a wall of crystallized light. Alizé is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size. Oh. Oh, go away, Titan. The small footprints lead off to the northwest. Oh dear. Well, I guess I'll get a closer look at them now. Because, like, I want to say they're either, like, literally made of sand or they're statues, just by the, like, the monotone color. The footprints continue on to the northwest. Yeah, I'll probably have to take out, like, one or two of these. Footprints curve around to the west. I must say one thing, like, again, because you people are here, I've said this in multiple streams, but like one thing I do really appreciate about like the DPS in this game is that they are actually complex. They were probably even more complex in the past, but okay, those are all over the place. A battle happened here. They're firing from all places. Like, the DPS rotations in WoW I've seen kind of, like, get simplified over time. And it's a real shame because whilst there's definitely some argument that, like, some of the playstyles are a bit bloated, Destruction Warlock, in my opinion, was, like, really good in Draenor when it had been cut down just a little bit. And then they went further with all of them, and it just kind of sucked. So returning to something that actually has, like, a lot going on, from a DPS perspective is, like, really nice. That... Fuck you. I hate it when that happens. There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand. Jesus.
Get back here!
Oh. There she is.
Is that... It can't be.
Alizé, the ground. Okay.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about.
I also, something I didn't comment on before that I really should have, is that the Warrior of Light is getting a lot more input now than they have in previous expansions. Usually, like, those situations where you can, like, say something are very much like, everyone has discussed something about something very important, and then everyone literally turns to the Warrior of Light and says, so what do you think? Like, after, like, minutes and minutes of discussion. So seeing them actually give you a lot more opportunities to kind of express the character of the Warrior of Light is an interesting change. I wonder why that is.
I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
Like, to be fair, I think that's a universally just good thing, but I'm curious if there's, like, a actual reason to that other than just, we should be doing that. Yeah. They don't need more. They don't need more reason to do that. They don't need more reason than that to do it, to be quite clear. But, like, I'm curious if there was anything else to it. Because something like that makes me think, that's going to be important later on, that we're having more input about stuff. Either narratively or mechanically. And I would guess narratively, but...
We've fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where 1 would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood.
I'll say Queen of Sass and Shade. As she has ever been, and as she should be. Hey, newest girl! So I'm in Shadowbringers now. And I was literally about to end the stream after this, so...
100 years ago, the balance in the First tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day. And then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam.
Another bot to thwack. There we go. So yeah, a lot happened. Okay, in particular, the very last images we see as we close out Stormblood of a Kenny Wampus, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Of a katana wielding Elizin. I cannot wait for that to be followed up on. Actually, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. The idea that Xenos is now untethered from the fucking Empire is amazing. Also, I sort of called it, because I distinctly remember mentioning that one of the ways that Xenos could have returned that I wasn't going to be angry about was if he had used the resonant... his power as a resonant to occupy a body like someone else had used the Echo. I am so interested to see where that goes.
A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations.
Great.
Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach.
So how's the first? Fucked.
Even that is not the worst.
It's pretty bad here.
The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities.
That's fucking horrifying.
They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them.
So it's like extreme tempering.
The infirmary
I guess that's
is full
not
of
even...
the Sin Eater's victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
Oh, that's fucking dark as well. It actually isn't that similar to that, but like I guess it's just another. This person is irreversibly fucked. Once you look at the map of Norvrant. Okay, hold on a sec. The infirmary is full of Sin Eaters. Yeah. But yeah, I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream right here. Seems like a good place to leave it. It's just a matter of time. Some more for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. Oh! Oh, the Oh! Jesus. I guess I was right. Like, I was being a bit facetious when I was like, oh, the first is fucked. But no! It's actually pretty accurate. To add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Teslan and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Yeah, I leveled up. Okay. The map. The map? The map. I mean, yeah, there's just like... Fuck. It's the flat Earth. Anyway. Yeah, like this is the last bit of the first, and it's surrounded by an entire wall of crystallized light. Does it look familiar to you? Hang on a second. Does that match up? Sorry, like, I obviously see the similarity here with, like, the island that it looks like Lenosha, the desert area in the south, and, like, the, I don't know if that's wintry in the north, but, and then a foresty area in the, just, northeast of that, but does that actually Yeah, the Crystal Tower would be somewhere around here in Mordona, I guess, because that'd be Silvertear Lake right there. Damn. Well, there you go. I was wondering when that was going to kind of come up, because it's been somewhat unclear if... Because some people have said that these worlds are reflections, and some of them are called shards, and it wasn't clear whether they are literally alternate reality Eorzeas, or whether they are, whether they're other planets entirely that used to exist within the source. But yeah, I guess that's the answer for at least the first. Well, that's a nice revelation to end that on. Yeah, so I'm going to finish up there. Well, I'm going to go and clean up my bloody inventory because it's become a hassle again. Especially with the start of an expansion, I'm going to be getting a lot of gear, so I better clean that up now. Yeah, so I'm going to be playing more of this tomorrow around the same time, I think. Damn, bitch, you live like this? Yeah, really. Yeah, again, I'm trying to set up a schedule, but at the moment, just because I'm on holidays, I'm probably going to be just streaming sporadically. So following me on here is the best way to keep up. I'll update the schedule with some more, like, solid ideas once I have them. I don't know if I'm going to be returning to Ace Attorney just yet, but that's in a different time slot to now, so I don't know if people would actually see that. But the cancelled streams at the moment on my schedule are what I used to do before my holiday started. So it's a good indication of what I probably will be doing for the foreseeable future. This just couple of weeks is a good chance to indulge, fortunately. But yeah, I'll be back with more of this tomorrow. I played probably 2 hours of Shadowbringers, and I'm already hooked. I'm so interested to see where this all goes. Yeah. I think that's all that needs to be said then. So, thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time. Oh, and of course, sorry, before I go, to everyone who stayed around for, Relatively Prime's raid, I really appreciate that, and Relatively Prime, if you are still watching this in the VODs, I really appreciate that raid so much. Okay, I think that's it then. Right. Thanks a lot again, and I hope to see you all next time.